Hey everyone, ItsAMe here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Pokemon Leaf Green. In the last episode, we started our Pokemon adventure getting Sprout the Bulbasaur, our Pokedex, and some Pokeballs. And in this episode, we're gonna head north and see where our adventure takes us. Before we move on, here on Route 1, there is a Pokemon I want to catch for some various purposes. So, I don't see any better time than to go over the two new Pokemon you can catch. Starting off is Pidgey. This is the first one I'm going to have to be not so kind to. Its type is fine, normal flying. It doesn't have any particular downsides. Its ability is, and its moveset isn't particularly great, but what particularly lets it down is the stats. It's mainly got speed. It does have decent bulk and attack, so it's not god-awful, but you could do a lot better. Hell, I'm going to be going over a better normal flying type in this very video. I can recommend it if you really like Pidgey, but if you want it for its type, then just wait literally a couple of minutes. That being said, I am catching a Pidgey, not to use on my team, but just for various purposes. Pidgey, tiny bird Pokemon, a common sight in forests and woods. Flaps its wings to ground level to kick up blinding sand. And I will give this Pidgey a nickname because even though it's not a team member, it is going to be a pretty permanent stay in the party. It's going to be with us more often than it's not. I'm going to name you Superfly. And just out of curiosity, what name should you get? I'm not going to bother checking if it's not something I don't know off the top of my head. Yeah, text on screen will be on for what a bashful nature does. Now let's see here. I kind of want to... Okay, yeah, I'll go over the other Pokemon. Rattata is also a Pokemon I can't highly recommend. It's a pure normal type, which has its benefits and downsides. It is only weak to fighting, has immunity against ghosts, but none of its stab moves will ever be super effective against anything. Normal types, usually never you're using a normal type or any of its actual normal type, you're using it for its stats and moves. Rattata, it has solid moves, its ability isn't anything special either, but its stats, it's also not that great. It's got decent attack and good speed. So again, there are so many better normal types in Kanto. Either that just happen to be normal type, like in the case of Pidgey, even though I wouldn't say Pidgey is even better than Rattata, but you get my point. They're just so much better. I don't think we're getting to... We are getting into another better normal type in this video, but mainly normal flying type, and it might as well be its own type at times with how there's only been one pure flying type throughout the entire series. Here we go, first negative bios out of the way. Here we are in Viridian City again, and it's actually not anything new to actually do in Viridian City. Besides advance, but now I recommend we go to the west because yeah, I legit have to do never eat soggy waffles, at least in my head, to remember which way the cardinal directions are. It's kind of embarrassing, but Route 22. Now there's something we can do here, but there's something I want to get out of the way for... I thought there was a name up there. Well, I might as well take this opportunity to get one of the 2 new encounters here out of the way. Alright, the first of the 2 new Pokemon, Mankey. Now this is a solid Pokemon. Starting off, it is the fastest normal type in the game, and being up here in normal type, that's a pretty solid thing. Only weak to really 2 types, and you're pretty valid offensively. And is the fastest fastest fighting type in the entire game. That alone, if you're looking for a fighting type, this is arguably like the best in the game just for being the fastest. It doesn't get that much variety in terms of moves. It only learns fighting in normal type moves through level up. Though through a move tutor we will get in a bit, you can teach it Rock Slide, which will be an excellent counter to one of its 2 weaknesses. And I was genuinely considering this for the team. But when I decided that I was going to use Bulbasaur, I just figured out that it didn't complement my starter all that well anymore, so I decided to go for a different Pokemon as my first team member. Also has a very solid ability. It's not the best thing in the world, but not being able to be put to sleep is a solid thing. Once again, not the most useful thing, but it's just got a lot of decently good stuff going for it. I highly recommend it if you're a Charmander player, because the first big hurdle that we're going to get over while we're going into a dungeon that Charmander will definitely excel at, we also do have a fair amount of rock types coming up that could prove to be trouble. But here we are on Route 2. Yeah, that old man just tossed out to catch Pokemon, but I already showed you how to get a Pokemon, so I didn't mind just shoving him into a bio. Yeah, we're already done Route 2. We have a lot of Pokemon to go over. So, are you going to reinforce? Yes, I am. So yeah, then we have our first dungeon. Yeah, I still have Route 22's encounters, Route 3's encounters, and if I remember correctly, there is a hidden item somewhere around here, an antidote. I came here with some friends to catch us some bug Pokemon. They're all looking to get into some Pokemon battles. Anyway, there is a Pokemon in this forest that I am looking to catch and add to my team. So, and since it's quite rare, I figured this is the best chance to actually go over the new encounters. Anyway, starting off by wrapping up the encounters on Route 22 is Spearow. This is the Pokemon I was talking about when I said in this very video we were getting into a Pokemon that is better than Pidgey and that's the same type. It is basically everything about Pidgey, except it also has good attack. It might not, it's a bit more frail, but it's overall just a better Pokemon. Unless you have an undying loyalty to Pidgey, and that's why you want to use it, pick this up instead. It's just a lot better. And now getting into the Route 2 encounters. Starting off, we have Caterpie. Yeah, we're going back on the negative train. As much as I want to be positive because this is the first bug type in the game, for those who don't know, bug type is my favorite Pokemon type, but unfortunately it's going to be loud for any actual good bug type Pokemon. Starting off, well, bug type itself is okay starting off. It evolves into the painfully generic and just overall not that good bug flying type. Another quad weakness to rock. The problem is, here is that it does, unlike the Charmander line, it doesn't learn any you like coverage moves for leveling up Orchard Tutors. So it, in terms of stats, it has decent special attack and special defense. Like, they're passable. And admittedly, Compound Ice is a pretty solid ability, given that it learns the powder moves, which increases the accuracy of those by 30%, which means pretty much they're guaranteed to hit unless someone messes with your accuracy, which is a solid benefit. And it does definitely have some use in the short term, just due to the fact that it's fully evolved at level 10. Though if you're looking for a long-term bug-type Pokemon, I recommend you look elsewhere. And then Caterpie's counterpart, Weedle. This one is Bug Poison, which is definitely a bit more workable, but has a lot of the same issues. Unlike Caterpie, it doesn't really have that great ability. Swarm is okay, but only in very specific circumstances. Has solid attack, it will not solid yet, like okay solid attack. Blech. Has okay attack and special defense. But its moveset isn't great either. It only learns normal, bug, poison, and dark type moves, which, while not terrible, you could definitely do a lot better than. So again, I want to say these early game bug types are good, because once again, I really like the bug type. Well, they're just not giving me stuff to work with here. I cannot recommend these. Like, once again, if you're really looking for a short-term bug type, then even though I do think Caterpie / Butterfree is the better option, alright, it's probably all done. Yeah, just go for Caterpie and wait, I'll be back in a second. I'm gonna heal. Alright, we're back in Viridian Forest, and now we can wrap up the bios. Starting off with Viridian Forest encounters at long last. If you really want to, you can catch Metapod and Kakuna here. The reason I'm not giving them proper bios is they are just the evolved forms of Caterpie and Weedle, and even if you want these as short-term, or even if you want these as long-term team members, just catch the unevolved versions, because at least they can attack. These guys just start off with Harden, so until you can get them to level 10 to evolve, they can only be swapped in and out for the purpose of gaining experience. Now, the mascot of this whole dang franchise, Pikachu, is really good. Once again, being the mascot, I think, is potentially tainted some people's view of it, but yeah, Pikachu's really solid. Electric is a fantastic type, only being weak to ground types. While it won't be immediately useful to your team, it's pretty useful long term. It's got a solid ability in the form of static, because now they want to attack it through contact moves. They have to your opponent has to gamble where they want to get paralyzed or not. Sure, it doesn't have the most inventive moveset with only knowing electric and normal type moves, but it has solid stats to back it up. Has good attack, special defense, and speed. No, special attack, and speed, with some solid special defense. this is, once again, just a solid Pokemon. The only real problem that comes in when in terms of using it for your team is the whole, do I want to hold out for this because it is a rare encounter? While looking for the Pokemon that I'm looking for, Sprout reached level 12. And level 13. And level 14. I finally found it. Normally I don't do this, but I'm creating a save state because this is taking me way longer than it should. This one shots it, then... Okay, good. Yes. Okay, you guys couldn't tell. Yeah, I don't have ulterior purposes with Pikachu. This is just straight the second member of my team. 1, 2, 3, cut. Now, I hope you have a good nature, because that took me really long. Okay, go, record. Pikachu, the master Pokemon. When several of these Pokemon gather, their electricity can build up and cause thunderstorms. I do have a nickname in mind for Pikachu. I am going to call it Raiden. Alright, let's see. Please don't have a bad nature. Right, bashful. Let me check what that is. I'm really happy. On my mixed attacker, I got a neutral nature. I'm gonna go heal. Alright, I am ready. And that thing that I said we could do back on Route 22, yo, we're gonna go do that now. Yeah, I wanted to get my second team member before I attempted that. Wait, actually, because I've got some stuff to read for that and say, I want to explain a bit why I decided to use Pikachu as my second team member. Sort of explain the synergy it has. I think these two actually complement each other pretty well, because there are definitely going to be quite a few flying types that Sprout would struggle against, not immediately nearby, but fairly soon, which Raiden takes care of due to being an electric type. And we already have Raiden's only weakness covered in the form of Sprout. I know there's probably like a better fitting second team member I could have actually... I mean, technically, but we won't be getting that Pokemon for all, but I just want to use it. Hey, Red. You're off to the Pokemon League? Forget about it. Probably don't have any badges, do you? Girl won't let you through without them. By the way, think your Pokemon getting stronger? Oh, you bet Sprout got stronger, and I got me a Pikachu. Took a really long time for me to actually encounter it, but I got it. Anyway, yes, this is a second and optional battle with Blue. He starts off with Pidgey, level 9, keen eye for the ability, normal flying type. The moves, Tackle, Sand Attack, and Gust. Now, Raiden is definitely a bit under-leveled for this fight, but I figured, you know what, he starts off with a flying critical hit for your first attack. You get in optimal nature considering you're a mixed attacker. Oh, we got the second. Raiden, you're so lucky. Alright, Ryan's not going to be able to take another tackle, so I'm going to have to switch this route. But, I was hoping you'd be able to take down that Pidgey single-handedly, but you are so lucky, Raiden. Oh, Raiden. And Ryan is now level 4. Alright, he's gonna send out Charmander. I'm gonna switch to Raiden just to get some switch training in, because Raiden is definitely a bit behind Sprout. Anyway, Blue will have Charmander, Fire type, Blaze for the ability, level 9. With the moves Scratch and Growl. I will have on screen right now what he will have instead of Charmander for those who didn't pick Bulbasaur. I'm gonna go for Leech Seed. I know you're not that tough, but still, I just feel like draining you. Yeah, I was kind of scared because, like, ooh, yeah, like, Raiden's still not that strong. This could actually be a pretty tough fight. But then I looked, on doing the research, I was like, oh, wait. He doesn't even have Ember yet, even though he technically should. I guess they programmed it that way for those who didn't bother trading up or just getting a second team member yet. And this bro got critical hit. This is, besides how long it took me to take Ryan, I've been getting pretty lucky already. Ryan is now level 5. And Sprout is now level 15. Let's learn Poison Powder. Yeah, let's do that. Bird and Growl. And we got Poison Powder. Never mind, I forget that, but you learn Sleep Powder and Poison Powder in the same turn, and given the accuracy, I think Sleep is just better. They're both not fantastic status moves, unless, of course, you have a Butterfree, in which case they're 100% accurate. Heard the Pokemon League is crawling with tough trainers. Have to figure out how to get past them. You should quit dawdling and get it. I couldn't even read that final line of dialogue. But anyway, as we go back to the Pokemon Center to pack up Raiden, I think that's a pretty solid place to end this episode. So, next time on Let's Play Pokemon Leaf Green, we'll explore Viridian Forest and hopefully make it to our next major destination. This has been ItsAMe, take care, and I'll see you guys next time.